if you could tell me your name, the organization or organizations you're with, and just a bit about the work that you do.
Hi, I'm Stephanie McHenry. I'm with the Democracy Collaborative. We are a 25-year-old think, do tank that works on creating a more democratic form of the economy.
And where are you based?
I'm based out of Shaker Heights, Ohio, which is right outside of Cleveland. Our organization is 100% remote, so we have people all over the world, actually.
Can you tell me a little bit about the work that you do in your community?
Yeah, so we are focused on figuring out how to have communities retain more of their assets and more of their wealth. Our sort of flagship project is called Evergreen Cooperative Laundry. And it is a commercial laundry that got started to do business with our biggest employer, Cleveland Clinic, and to be able to have the workers who come from some of the most disadvantaged neighborhoods in our town be worker owners, and to keep that business and those dollars flowing within Cleveland. So that's an example of our community wealth building strategy that we promote, as I said, all over the world.
And why did you think it was important for you to be here today?
It was important for us to be here because we want to support local solutions to what we know are endemic problems for our national economy. We were founded on capitalism, but capitalism has, by definition, a capital bias. Whereas what we're seeing a lot of, including here in Northern Virginia, are people that are realizing that capital is not the only thing of value in communities. It's really creativity, it's the work, it's the commitment to place that also should be rewarded by having that value stay and circulate. So happy to be here to be a resource, to meet some new people, to offer us as an organization that can help put an umbrella around those efforts and kind of give cover for a new way of thinking about economic development locally.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And what are some things you've already encountered or heard or people you've met today that have been valuable for you?
So today I was really fascinated to learn how far the Rosie's Grocery Project has gotten, and to learn a little more about how that was selected as an initiative to deal with the wealth gap, the racial wealth gap in particular, in Black and white folk in the DC area. They could have started a lot of places, but food and nutrition and sort of community health has so much to do with people's outcomes. I was stunned to hear the difference in life expectancy for people that live a couple miles from each other, just based on what's been invested in those neighborhoods. So I came away from that story very inspired to be part of that sort of innovation wherever we can.
Mm-hmm. And in your own words, what is this next system that we're trying to build?
So the next system that we're trying to build is based on the idea that not all wealth accrues from capital. We decided that capital and the risk in capital should get the greatest reward. There's no scroll dropped from heaven to say that that's the way things had to be. But we decided as an economy that capital got to get some kind of premium just because it was being put at risk. I think commitment to community, I think hard work in creating value, I think governing organizations in a way that contributes back to community has at least as much value as putting capital at risk. So for me, it's important to show examples of that. That's the thing that people can get to the most. And I'm very committed to figuring out places and ways to show concrete examples of how this new way of thinking, this new economy can work.
Where does this motivation come from for you personally?
Wow. So this motivation for me personally comes from me having the great fortune of knowing even my great-grandparents. I grew up in Arkansas, a town in Little Rock, and before that in a smaller town. And so my great-great-grandmother was a slave, right? I knew my great-grandmother, who was half slave and half slave owner. And I saw the struggles that they went through from one generation to the next. The real breakthrough was with my parents And, for both of them, they both were the first generation in their families to go to college. And that's what broke the cycle. If it had not been for that, they probably still would have been, I probably wouldn't be here, first of all, and they would have still been working in some labor in some small town in Arkansas. So just the way that education was pivotal in changing the trajectory of my family, I want ownership and community wealth to be pivotal in changing the trajectory of a lot of other families. So that kids growing up in cities can see their parents going to work in a place where they're partial owners and where they're benefiting from the value that they create, so that those young people see the next step to take to move that family forward, and it never goes backwards. So that's my motivation, to be a part of something that transforms not just people, but generations.
Awesome. Why do you think this is important to be thinking about and talking and gathering about right now in this moment?
Yeah, I think right now it's important to think about these things, because more than ever, unless you've been under a rock, as they say, it is very clear that localized solutions will have impact and must have impact on people's lives and on communities. If you ever thought that the federal government was going to do it, you can certainly take that out of your mind, right? So I think it's important for us to show not only is it doable, that these things like, cooperative organizations have existed forever. And so these aren't strange things. This isn't like, people want to put labels on it, like socialism or capital or communism and all these isms to scare people away from something that's not biased about capital. So what we need to show in this moment is that these are feasible solutions and that these are fair solutions, and they still require us to run good enterprises. They still require us to meet the needs of community. So that part of the principle of being American is still in place. It's just a matter of who benefits from it.
So what are ways that just kind of the everyday person might be able to plug in and get involved or take some action around this?
Yeah, so for the everyday person, and I understand that these concepts can be a little difficult to grasp, especially when we're all subject to the propaganda that, entrepreneurship and capitalism is the only way to do things. So I think one starting place would be to go to our website, the Democracy Collaborative. If you look it up, you will see examples of where projects have been undertaken. I also think Next System Studies here at George Mason provides a great sort of background and analysis about why these systems are required, and also some of what it will take to implement them. So I would start there.
Thank you. Anything else you want to add?
I just want to add that the organizers of this event are to be applauded. I've really felt a spirit of solution here. So many people are mired in despair right now because of some of the things that are happening, but I see none of that here. What I see is folks that are committed to making a change for as many people as possible, and in a way that that can show the world that there's a different way to do things.
Actually, can you say the name of what this event is, so we have that?
What is it? DNOVA, what is it? Tell me.
DNOVA Summit.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the real value of DNOVA Summit 2025, DNOVA Summit 2025, is to demonstrate to people that there are ways, there are things to be done, to have us gather as a community and talk about solutions, and to tap into each other's capacities and willingness to help, so that we can truly take control of your local economy, and then that can in turn be a demonstration really for the world.
Can you do it one more time? Just
Okay.
So you get the name,
What did I say?
mean,
Maybe I could do it
should
one more
say
time. I'll try.
Democratizing Nova Summit.
What is it called?
Yeah, DNOVA, but it's like democratizing Nova.
So I should call it Democratizing Nova Summit 2025.
Sarah, do you have an opinion on this? I'm just having her say the name of the summit. Is DNOVA Summit better or democratizing Nova? What do you think you guys would rather have as like a soundbite?
Can we say the name of building power? Or that's too long? I think DNOVA.
DNOVA Summit, okay.
25.
Just so you can get the name clean.
Get it right. I know. I stumble.
That's okay.
DNOVA Summit 2025. Okay. I think the importance of DNOVA Summit 2025 is as a gathering place for those of us who are working to make a real change in the current environment, for us to be able to leverage each other's efforts and also be inspired through the examples of what's already on the ground, to be able to show that there are solid, localized solutions that are more fair, and to be an example, really, for the world.
Nailed it.
Thank
All
you.
right. Whew, I was like, what did I say?
That was good. You did